predictions
What?
of your fight.
That's all? That's the only prediction you want?
Well, we'll do more predictions, but
Well,
let's start with that.
Well, Mike Tyson wins. He's successful. He's
What round?
Hey, whatever I him good at. But anyway,
You gonna come out? Are you get?
still I'm working on the move.
In less than just 48 hours, Jake will be getting in the ring with the legendary Mike Tyson. The fight that has everyone talking will finally happen, and only one man will come out of it standing. And while many see that man being Mike Tyson, a reasonable number of the pros are still picking Jake Paul to win, while others are still disgusted by the fight.
Entertainment. It's a big difference between boxing and entertainment. I wouldn't call it a boxing fight. You know, it's definitely for entertainment and, you know, get the fans.
Robert Garcia, a respected trainer who has worked with big names like Jesse Bam Rodriguez and Virgil Ortiz Jr., had no hesitation in sharing his views on the fight. Garcia made it clear that he thinks Tyson versus Paul is less of a real boxing match and more of an entertainment spectacle.
To me, it's just a show. It's like people paying their tickets and paying pay-per-view to watch Royal Rumble. That's just the way I see it. You know, look, Tyson's almost 60. If we go back to his last.
In an interview with Fight Hub TV, Garcia didn't hold back. He said, "It's a great event, but honestly to me, it's just a show." For Garcia, the whole thing feels more like a staged performance rather than a competitive fight. He even compared it to the world of professional wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson knows how to defend himself, and he's boxing against a guy that not as good as boxer as he is, and Mike Tyson knows how to throw a good punch. He knows how to break you down. So I'm more concerned about the other guy than Mike.
It's like people paying their tickets to watch the Royal Rumble, he explained. That's just the way I see it. Tyson's almost 60. If we go back to when he was still a professional fighter, his last couple of performances were not very good. I think it's going to be just a show where they're going to go out there and perform for a huge crowd and the millions watching on Netflix.
The winner and knock Jake Paul out?
Mike Tyson can knock him out, yeah, easily. if he get caught, you know what I'm saying, that's Mike Tyson. If he punch you, he gonna.
Garcia's comments point to a deeper belief that the fight is all about the money and the spectacle, not about proving who's the better fighter. He even suggested that it might be somewhat planned out for entertainment value.
I think it's a great fight, great marketing situation as well, because so many people want to see it because of the young lion and the old lion, you know? So it's a great situation for them, a great situation.
I wouldn't be surprised if they've been staging it together just to put up a good show, honestly, Garcia added. A 60-year-old, there's no way he could be fighting anymore. I'm telling you, this is all about putting on a performance. Despite being one of the best trainers in the business, Robert Garcia sees this fight as more of a flashy event rather than a serious contest. According to him, it's just two guys coming together to entertain the fans and cash in on their fame.
Don't charge at me, Tyson.
However, Ryan Garcia brought in an interesting view. Ryan has been making headlines recently, not just for his fights, but also for his personal life, including court appearances and social media talk. But when it comes to the upcoming Tyson-Paul matchup, Ryan seems to be just as confused as everyone else. Speaking to USA Today, Sports, the 26-year-old Garcia didn't hold back his doubts. "I don't know if it's a real fight," he said with a puzzled look on his face. "I really have no clue, but hopefully they come out safe. Mike's a little older, on the older side, so hopefully he comes out with some good money."
I like Jake. That's it.
You think he's doing a good job?
Yes.
What do you think about the Tyson fight that he just announced?
That's awesome. Fuck yeah, dude. Try to fight Tyson. If he knocks you out, but at least you fought Tyson. That's cool.
Ryan Garcia is clearly worried about the age difference between the two fighters. Tyson is 58, while Jake Paul is just 27. Ryan feels that if this was happening a decade ago, the fight would have been a no-brainer win for Tyson. "Mike, 10 years younger, I believe he will knock out Jake," Ryan said confidently. "I don't know how it is now. I mean, Jake is young, but Mike's almost 60, right?" He continued, pointing out the unpredictability of Tyson's current condition. "It's pretty up there, almost 60. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Both of those guys are kind of my friends. I just want them to make a bunch of money."
What's your prediction for me versus Mike Tyson?
Man, my heart of hearts, I mean, it's hard for me to bet against you. You're different. I won't bet. I like Mike, so I just go for Mike because he's Uncle Mike.
Despite his doubts, Ryan is still rooting for both fighters to walk away happy and healthy. However, he's not sure if fans should expect a real clash or just a fun exhibition. What's clear is that Ryan doesn't think this is a real, competitive fight. Garcia also touched on his own journey to stay focused, mentioning that he's been seeing a therapist to deal with personal issues. He admitted that he's trying to improve himself, which shows that even while watching these big events, he's focused on his own path in the boxing world.
I don't know what that fight is for. You know, at the end of the day, obviously it's for money. So it's a money fight. And it's a fight that, I don't know. It's up to you guys to take it serious or not. It's just entertainment.
Evander Holyfield, a living legend in the sport who famously beat Mike Tyson twice, also weighed in with his thoughts. Holyfield is no stranger to stepping into the ring for exhibition fights, having done so himself in recent years. But when it comes to Tyson versus Paul, he seems to view it as less of a true competition and more of an entertaining event for the fans.
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this. But, you know, he's going to be a lot quicker. If he stay close to Mike, then his chance of winning going to be great. But he tried to stay back from Mike.
In a clip shared by Clocked and Loaded, Holyfield gave a candid take on the fight. "My whole thing is that it's an exhibition, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I just know that Mike Tyson's supposed to beat him. He's supposed to," Holyfield said. For Holyfield, this fight is more about the show than anything else. He believes that Tyson's legacy and power should give him the upper hand, but he's also aware that anything can happen in a match like this, especially when there's a lot of money involved. But in a situation like this, it's a big money thing, so ain't no telling what's gonna happen, he added. "I'm gonna be there. I'll go watch it." In another interview, Holyfield shared more detailed advice on what Jake Paul would need to do if he wants to stand a chance against the much more experienced Tyson. "If Jake stays close to Mike, then his chance of winning is going to be great," Holyfield explained. "But if he tries to stay back from Mike, he's going to get caught. Mike is like a snake, he'll pop out on you, he gets there too quick. But if you charge him, you're going to smother him." Holyfield's take shows that while he believes Tyson should come out on top, he's not ruling out a surprise from Jake Paul. He warned that if Paul doesn't stick to a strategy, he could easily get knocked out by a quick and powerful Tyson.
Last thing, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, who you got?
My only thing, I know that it's an exhibition, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Who you got, Evander? You got somebody. Who you got your guy Mike, or you got the young gun?
I just know that Mike Tyson is supposed to beat him.
Supposed to beat him.
He's supposed to. But in situations like this, it's a big money thing, so you ain't no telling what's going to happen.
No telling what's going to happen. Are you going to be at the fight, the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight? You'll be
And then there was Teddy Atlas, one of the most outspoken voices in boxing. Known for his no-nonsense approach, Atlas did not hold back when discussing the Tyson versus Paul fight. On his podcast, Atlas shared that he feels the whole event is more like a scripted show rather than a real competitive boxing match. "I have a feeling that there could be a scripted element," Atlas said. "It's just too perfect. Tyson's return at this age, Jake Paul being this big internet sensation, it feels like a show."
No, obviously he's okay, and that's good. That's his choice, his family's choice. If he knows if he can come back. Obviously, it's something he overcame physically. It wasn't that serious. Obviously, he's of good health. The people around him believe he's of good health. I have to believe he's of good health. You know, he's 58 years old. You know, not.
Atlas compared it to the WWE, where entertainment and drama take center stage. He hinted that the fight's official sanctioning as a professional match only adds more questions about its legitimacy. I mean, come on. It's Mike Tyson at 58 years old against Jake Paul, who's just starting to box. It's not a real match, it's more like a spectacle. But hey, it's going to make a lot of money. For Atlas, the fight is less about skill and more about the storylines.
As soon as I catch this guy, it's going to be running around. But as soon as I catch this guy, it's going to be totally over.
He believes fans are tuning in not just to see who wins, but to be entertained by the drama, the hype, and the personalities involved. However, one of the loudest voices in the boxing world, Oscar De La Hoya, has had a lot to say about this bout. Initially, he was one of the staunch critics, dismissing the fight as a cash grab that exploited Tyson's legendary name. But recently, De La Hoya shocked everyone by completely reversing his stance.
You don't think Tyson is a serious opponent for him?
Come on. 61 years. I saw him the other day. I love Tyson. I told him he can punch. Of course. He's got a puncher's chance the first 3 rounds. I'm a little scared of Tyson getting hurt after the 3rd round.
In an earlier interview with Fight Hub TV, De La Hoya didn't hold back his disappointment. He lashed out at Jake Paul, suggesting that if the YouTuber turned boxer really wanted to be taken seriously in the sport, fighting Tyson was not the way to go. You say you want to be a world champion. You say you want to take this sport seriously, then take it serious, De La Hoya said, visibly frustrated. This is not a popularity contest. He emphasized that while Jake Paul has potential, fighting Mike Tyson isn't the path to a world title.
You say you want to be a world champion. You say you want to take this sport serious. Then take it serious. What is this? This is not a
He's going to make a shitload of money and gain more popularity at Mike Tyson's expense. Do I like it? No, because I love Mike Tyson. I'm just concerned about his legacy. For a long time, that was De La Hoya's firm position. But with less than 2 weeks until the fight, De La Hoya did a complete 180. In a recent interview with Fight Hub TV, he admitted he's now actually excited about the matchup. I'm actually looking forward to it, he said. Jake Paul, he's moving up, he's becoming a better fighter. This fight here, the fact he's focused and determined and he's going up against the great Mike Tyson, it takes him to another level.
Fuck Mike Tyson and that motherfucking prepped up white boy. That white boy ain't tough.
De La Hoya's change of heart has left many fans scratching their heads. Is it genuine excitement or just another promotional tactic? He even gave his thoughts on how the fight might unfold. According to De La Hoya, if it's before 3-4 rounds, I have to go with Tyson by knockout, that one-punch knockout. If it goes past 4 rounds, I have to worry about Tyson's conditioning and where Jake Paul's youth can take over. He even joked about Paul's physical transformation, saying, I've seen Jake Paul's videos. He looks big, he looks huge. So whatever spray he's taking, it's working. But De La Hoya isn't the only boxing legend who's had a change of heart about the fight. Bernard Hopkins, the Hall of Famer who once shared the ring with Tyson, initially blasted the fight as degrading. Back in March, Hopkins told Fight Hub TV that the fight was nothing but a circus act, a mockery of the sport he dedicated his life to. I don't like it. I look at Mike differently, in the way of my era, like people looked at Ali. I just think it degrades him, he said, clearly disappointed. Hopkins went as far as to say he wouldn't even bother watching the fight, adding that he'd rather watch 2 turtles race. For a long time, it seemed Hopkins would stick to his guns. But like De La Hoya, he's had a sudden change of opinion. Speaking to the same outlet recently, Hopkins praised the event as a fusion of boxing and entertainment. I think it's a great way of showing the world that entertainment. This is entertainment, but it's also boxing on the highest dangerous level, he said, acknowledging that while the fight is a spectacle, it's also a legitimate test for both fighters. You can't play boxing, Hopkins warned, implying that despite the entertainment factor, this fight carries real risks. On the other side of the spectrum is Eddie Hearn, who remains unimpressed by the whole event. With just a few days left until the fight, the seasoned promoter blasted the matchup as disrespectful to the sport of boxing. In a recent interview, Hearn didn't mince words. You only need to speak to Tyson and look at him to know this guy should not be in a ring again, Hearn stated, clearly concerned for the 58-year-old legend. If I was Jake Paul, I'd just feel a little bit embarrassed, to be honest with you.
You're asking the wrong guy. I'm a hardcore boxing fan. He's one of my heroes. I find it very sad, but it's a big event. I understand people are going to watch it, and it's entertainment, I guess. But for someone that idolised the guy growing up, yeah, not the best day. He's 58 years old.
While Hearn will attend the event to support Katie Taylor's title defense against Amanda Serrano in the co-main event, he plans to leave before the Tyson-Paul fight. This is dangerous, irresponsible, and in my opinion, disrespectful to the sport of boxing, Hearn concluded, standing firm in his belief that the fight should never have been sanctioned. Adding to the mix of opinions, former super middleweight champion Hearn and Froch has raised concerns over the legitimacy of the fight. Froch, known for his straightforwardness, suggested that there might be clauses in the fighters' contracts to prevent any real harm.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to watch one of my all-time favorite fighters, one of my heroes.
If something goes wrong with Mike Tyson getting badly hurt, ultimately Jake Paul is the one who's 30 years younger than him, Froch argued. He even hinted at the possibility of the fight being scripted, especially with Tyson's age and Paul's rising stardom. I've heard and believe that there is something in the contract which means Tyson can't even try and hurt him. Froch's claims have only fueled speculation about whether the fight is more of a WWE-style performance than a real boxing match. Though neither Tyson nor Paul has confirmed these rumors, they've both strongly denied that the fight is scripted. While Jake Paul is gearing up for the fight of his life against Tyson, he's already eyeing his next big challenge.
So, people are going to buy it thinking, oh, what if Mike Tyson catches him? But the reality is, I don't think he's going to be allowed to catch him. I think it's going to be a one-sided whooping. And Jake Paul's going to beat him probably in 4 or 5 rounds because Mike Tyson will get absolutely knackered and probably fall over. So what do I think of the fight? I think it's a disgrace. Listen, we're all making...
The YouTube sensation turned boxer has made it no secret that he wants a shot at none other than Saul Canelo Alvarez. Yes, you heard that right. Jake Paul, who's been in the boxing game for just a few years, wants to take on one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Paul's bold ambitions have raised more than a few eyebrows in the boxing community. After all, taking on Canelo is a whole different ballgame compared to fighting an aging Tyson. But Jake is confident in his abilities and believes that beating Tyson will pave the way for a mega fight with Canelo. He's not just looking for a payday, he's looking to prove he belongs in the boxing ring with the best of the best.
Canelo, thank you. What about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? What do you think about that fight?
Speaking of Canelo, he has even weighed in on Tyson versus Paul showdown. The current super middleweight kingpin didn't hold back when discussing the risks involved in this high-profile bout. In a recent interview with Lewis Howes, Canelo acknowledged the financial allure of the fight, but couldn't help but express concern for Tyson's well-being. It's hard to say who will win, but it's risky for Mike Tyson because he's 57, 58 years old, and boxing is no joke, Canelo said. He knows firsthand how brutal the sport can be, even for a seasoned fighter like Tyson. However, Canelo also understands why the fight is happening. But I get why they are doing it. It's a business, he added.
Tyson, interest you, and how do you see that fight going down in July?
Not at all. Not at all.
Not really, not even interested.
No, nothing.
Do you think it's good for boxing, not good for boxing? No. A lot of people think that Netflix is good for boxing.
I think Netflix is good for boxing, but at that
Canelo's words extend the ideas of many boxing fans who are excited to see Tyson back in the ring, but are also worried about the dangers he could face against a much younger opponent. Mike Perry, who sparred with Jake Paul in preparation for his own bare-knuckle fights, recently shared his thoughts on Paul's punching power. Perry, known for his brawling style in both MMA and bare-knuckle boxing, had a unique perspective on the difference between hitting with gloves and bare knuckles. It was hard to tell because of the weight. The weight was totally new to me. When I hit people bare knuckle, it just works, Perry said in a video shared by Fight Hype.
Yeah, if Tyson wants to get in the ring, I'm down, and he does. So here we are. He's one of the baddest men on the planet, and you know, if he wants that opportunity and that smoke, he's the one who is like, let's make this a pro fight. I'm gonna end you, and I'm ready for it, and I'm excited for it. And
maybe they don't have the boom that they have with the gloves, because they don't have to worry about protecting their hands with a bit of extra padding, so a boxing punch is a bit bigger. His first one took me off my feet. If Perry's words are anything to go by, Jake Paul might just have the power to surprise Tyson, especially if he can capitalize on his youth and size advantage. Let's not forget, though, that Tyson is no stranger to powerful punchers. During his legendary career, Tyson faced some of the biggest hitters in the heavyweight division, including Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, and Frank Bruno. Tyson had a total of 58 fights, winning 50 of them, with a staggering 44 by stoppage. He's been in the ring with fighters who hit as hard, if not harder, than Jake Paul.
Tyson. They're gonna fight, huh? Yeah, they're gonna fight. Do you think Jake Paul can beat Mike Tyson?
I don't think so.
The question is, can Tyson tap into that same power and ferocity that made him the baddest man on the planet? Or has Father Time finally caught up with him? Anthony Joshua has also shown support for Jake Paul, acknowledging his impact on boxing despite his unconventional path. Reflecting on Jake's rise in the sport, Joshua was asked about the YouTuber-turned-boxer during an interview with IFL TV, a year before they crossed paths in the Middle East. Joshua said, "He's great for boxing," showing appreciation for Jake's efforts to dive into the sport with zero amateur experience.
And what did you initially think when you heard that Mike Tyson was going to be getting in the ring with Jake?
I was thinking that Jake Paul was going to be in trouble because, you know, Mike Tyson knows how to throw great body punches, great headshots. And, you know, we just have to see if he's going to do them in the ring. I'm hoping that he'll do that. It's a task, you know.
He's trying. Zero amateur experience, throwing himself in the deep end. He'll probably learn a lot more than a lot of fighters, throwing himself in the deep end, putting himself under pressure. Good luck to him, Joshua added. This endorsement meant a lot to Jake Paul, who expressed that receiving respect from boxing legends like Joshua, Tyson, and Roy Jones Jr. validates his journey. "That to me means more than the online hate," Jake stated, emphasizing the value of respect from true fighters in the sport. Well, what do you think will happen on Friday night? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.